स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः प्रज्ञानांशु प्रधानैः स्थिरचरनिकर व्यापिभिर्व्याप्य लोकान् भुक्त्वा भोगान् सविष्टान् पुनरभिधिषणोत् भासितान् कामजन्यान् हीत्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् स्वपिति मधुरभुम् मायया भोजयन्नः माया संख्यातुरीयं परममृतमजम् ब्रह्म यत्तन्नतोऽस्मि यो विश्वात्मा विदित विषयान् प्राश्यभोगान् सविष्टान् पश्चाच्चान्यान् स्वमतिविभवान् ज्योतिषा स्वेन सूक्ष्मान् सर्वानेतान् पुनरपि शनैः स्वात्मनि स्थापयित्वा हित्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् विगतगुणगणं पात्वसौ न स्तुरीयः
Karika 2.
दक्षिणाक्षिमुखे विश्वः मनस्यन्तस्तु तैजसः आकाशे च हृदि प्राज्ञः त्रिधा देहे व्यवस्थितः
The word prana was used for avyakrita. The question was, prana refers to pancha pranas, 5 vrittis, functions. How it can refer to avyakrita? Answer was, Shruti says so. Shruti says what? Prana bandhana misomya manaha. That manaha is jiva. Jiva is bandhanam, adhinam, dependent on prana. And that, what is that prana? Sat Brahma. Now the Purva Paksha points out, look, that prana is not pancha prana. It is what? Sat Brahma. Sat Brahma. So that is there. So how is it possible? For that answer is given. This is not a defect. That Sat Brahma is true, but Sat Brahma is with avyakrita. And what is the avyakrita? Bijatmaka. A potential, like a seed, from which the waking dream emerge, or if it is pralaya, again Srishti, creation emerges. So that is my whenever the Sat word is used in this context, it is with the Bija. And what is the Bija? Bija also is called as Avyakrita, Maya, Avidya, all these are called that way. So that is that. Which has got the potentiality to create further, means you are asleep. And in that sleep, you are one with yourself. But Avyakrita Ajnana is that. And in that what you do, you again emerge. How? Either dreamer or waker. It is what in the Srishti, Pralaya, that Bija, next Srishti comes forth. Now for that he said, so if that is the case, if Sat is always with the Bija, what will happen? Sat will never be Sat. Therefore, no, you have to see the Shruti context. Shruti also uses the word for Brahma where this Bija is not there. Means Brahma word is used with Bija potentiality to create, and without that also. Samples were given. What are that? Neti neti. None of these are there. Yato vacho nivartante anya devatad viditadato aviditadadi. We have seen all these things. Then Gita na sattan na saduchyati. So therefore, when that prana word for which sat is used, it is with the bija, seed of Avyakrita or Maya or Avidya, which can create further. If it were not so, now it says, Bhagavan's statement will go wrong. What is that Bhagavan statement? In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, see that is there. So Lord Krishna has said this. Jnanena tu tadajnanam yesham nashitam agna. 5th chapter, 16th verse. Jnanena tu yad ajnanam yesham nashitam agna. Yesham atmanaha ajnanam jnanena nashitam. In the case of those whose ignorance about the Atma is destroyed by who? Jnana. Now ignorance is there or not? Yes. Other synonym for that, Avyakrita is there or not? Yes. So therefore say that is that. Then what happens in their case? Tesham, in the case of Sajnani, Adityavadnyanam prakashayati tatparam. That knowledge reveals Atma like the sun reveals the world. The sun illumines the world. Then what will be the jnana? If jnana reveals means make you know Atma, Brahma, what is that jnana? We know this much at least. What is that? Atma, Brahma is jnana swarupa. Jnana swarupa, does it need any jnana to make it known? Do you need any lamp to illumine the sun? What are you talking? Jnanena tu ajnanam yesham nashitam atmana. Come on, give me loudly, give answer. Huh? Why Khandar you need? See, you are talking of non-dual Brahma, non-dual, why you bring duality again? Huh? What is that? To remove ajnana. To remove ajnana. To remove ajnana, what is that? Sorry? See, look, Atma doesn't need your Akhandakara Bhakti. Atma doesn't want to get released because who told you Atma is Baddha? We use the word Nitya Mukta. Atma is Nitya Mukta. Then why this problem, all this effort to gain knowledge? For whom it is? For the one who considers oneself as samsari baddha. Who is that? Huh? Jiva, ahankara. Neither Chaitanya nor I notion vritti. In between, I notion vritti, ahankara vritti with chidabhasa, which takes the entire embodiment as I. For him, what is necessary? Jnana is necessary. He is the Baddha, Atma is Nitya Mukta, and if you tell, so we are working for your liberation, Atma will laugh provided has what a mouth. Poor Atma cannot laugh also. Poor Atma cannot laugh also because there is no mouth, there is no body. See, that's why some people have a habit of putting the cart before the horse. Look, there is no problem for Atma. Somebody, what is that? Janma Marana is not there. Like a parrot, they go on telling, I am Atma. I was discussing with someone. I am Atma. Pat gives the answer. I am Atma. I don't have Janma Marana. With this lip Vedanta, where will you land? Acha, you are Atma, is it not? This person should be confined in their room with toilet. But no food. No food, no water for 3 days. Ask him, I am Atma. Atma has no hunger. Atma has no hunger. Then the reality will surface. This lip Vedanta will not work, ठीक है. So therefore, there is a bija. So that is Bhagavad Gita verse also says that jnana, which is the vritti, jnana, akhandakar vritti, atmakar vritti, brahmakar vritti, whatever blessed name you may use, that vritti must be exactly like Atma, Brahma, Nirvishesha, Nirguna, Nirupadhika. You call whatever name you want. Why so? This is simple principle of gaining the knowledge. Ignorance of anything is destroyed by a vritti which conforms to that. Ghata is there, ghatakara vritti is there. Pata is there, patakara vritti is there. Then what? Kar is there, karakara vritti is there. So we have got a generalized word. Tat akara vritti. And then, if Atma is there, Atma akara vritti. But Atma has no akara. Refer to my Brahma Sutra commentary. Or if you can't, go to 18th chapter Bhagavad Gita, 50th stanza, Bhashya. Though Atma has no form, it can, that Antakarna has got a built-in capacity made by Ishvara, knowing well what problem can be if it is not so. It can just assume the Atma Swarupa, Swachha, Nirmala, Sukshma, Atyanta Swachha, Atyanta Nirmala, Atyanta Sukshma. It can be. So that is that. He says, that is how that jnana. See, some people know, they first decide and then manipulate all bhashya, all text, etc. To know ghata, ghatakar vritti is necessary. To know pata, patakar vritti is necessary. So for Atma, jnana vritti is necessary. Atmakar vritti removed, he will be caught. Jnana vritti. And what is jnana vritti? I am Nitya Mukta, Shuddha Buddha Mukta, Achaitanya. I am. We'll come to know that I has to be what? Turiya. If you are aware of Turiya, you cannot be aware of Vishwa. You cannot be aware of Taidasa. Is it not? When this person says, I am Nitya Mukta, Nitya Buddha Mukta, is he aware of the body? Is he of the world? Foul. Where is he? Prajna. Is at level of the Prajna. Taijasa we can't say. Taijasa we can't say. Is at level of the Prajna. Foul. It is not the Swarupa. So all this is there. So therefore, see how they wriggle out. Okay. Now, that is what is told now by Bhashya.
ज्ञानदाय बीजा भावे च ज्ञानानर्थक्य प्रसंगः.
Sir, if you do not accept this bija, ajnana bija, karya rupa jagat bija, or what is called as what? This avidya or avyakrita or maya, is that there? If that is not there, Bhagavan's statement, as just now we have seen in 5th chapter of Gita, 16th verse, it says, will go wrong. Why? Jnana dahya bija bhave. Dahya means dahana yogya, that which is fit to be burned, to be destroyed, fit to be destroyed. So bija bhave, if avyakta bija, ignorance bija is not there, jnananarthakya prasanga. What for we have to gain knowledge? If light cannot dispel darkness, what for light is? If Atma Jnana cannot destroy ignorance of that, what for it is? And who has said this? Lord Krishna. Will you say something such as that is what useless? So that is there. It says Jnananarthakya prasanga. Jnanasya anarthakya prasanga. So that is what. And the prasanga means a possibility, occasion, or a topic of controversy. So it will be there. Therefore, what you have to do, we have to accept the avyakrita bija, ajnana bija, or maya bija, depending on the context.
तस्मात् स्वबीजत्वाभ्युपगमेन एव सतः प्राणत्वव्यपदेशः सर्वश्रुतिषु च कारणत्वव्यपदेशः.
Therefore, if the bija is not there, Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana will be redundant. It has no function to do. Because tasmaat, therefore, bijatvasya abhyupagamena eva. Abhyupagamena eva, by acceptance, abhyupagama is acceptance. By acceptance of the bija, avyakrita bija, avidya bija, avidya, sataha pranatva apadeshaha. Sataha sadeva somya idamagra asi. Oh, dear Shvetaketu, before the creation, Sat only was there. And what that Sat? Sat bija. And that same Sat is what? Prana bandhanami somya manaha. Manaha, jivaha is dependent on what? Prana. And what is that prana? Sat. Sadeva somya idamagra asi. So that's what it says. So sataha, of Sat only, pranatva vyapadeshaha, mention or naming or referring as prana, and sarva shruti shuchocha, in all shruti, sataha eva karanatva vyapadeshaha. Sat alone is what? Mentioned as what? Karana, jagat karana, jiva karana, cause of this. And therefore what is there? That bija, avyakrita, etc. has to be destroyed by knowledge. From this standpoint, he says, this is what Shruti says. What is that Shruti? So therefore, in Shruti, two types of statements as regards to Sat or Brahma is there. One type of statement which is sabija, with the bija. Other statement which is nirbija, where we have to see the context and refer to, that is, decide, ascertain. So therefore he said, these are the places where sat etc. is with the bija. Here are the cases where bija is not there, nirbija. That is, that bija which creates the jagat etc. is not there. What are those statements? Let us see.
अतः एव अक्षरात् परतः परः
Mundaka 2:1-2. Aksharat. So what is akshara here is avyakritam. So avyakrita is called akshara. You know the literal meaning of akshara? And you know the literal meaning of akshara? That which is subject to destruction. Akshara is naksharati. Now that which is not destructible, what is that principle? Brahma. Athapara. Mundaka. Yaya tat aksharam adhigamyate. Mundaka Upanishad speaks of two vidyas. How many vidyas are there? We have a definite number. 64. We have got 64. But these 64 vidyas, types of knowledge, can be clubbed into two. First take akshara, yaya tad apne, not akshara, paravidya. That by which the akshara Brahma, indestructible Brahma can be gained, that is paravidya. Rest all varieties of knowledge, vidyas are what? Aparas, lower. Then why that useful? Apara-vidya is useful for us to live in the world. But its limitations should be known up to that, but we have to go beyond that, where to para-vidya. If you are only engrossed in apara-vidya, then your goal of life is kya? Khao, piyo, maja karo. KPM. I told you what is KPM? No. I told many times. See, one of my students was the anatomy professor. What was the head of the anatomy? He is no more now. Head of the anatomy department, GS Medical College. So very jocular person, humorous person. So he was shown a terminal cancer patient. This also is there. अरे यार उसको KPM tablet दे दो. Give him KPM tablet. What is KPM tablet? खाओ पियो मजा करो. Don't restrict him. There is no hope of survival. Let him do whatever he wants. So खाओ. Otherwise, Satya Sai says, खाना पीना सोना खाना पीना सोना मरना. If that is the goal, this is of no use. Otherwise, this knowledge is necessary. So now, akshara, that which is indestructible. So it should basically fit in what? Brahma. But here it is not used for Brahma. It is used for avyakrita. You know why? Relatively, if you take into account the jagat, it is kshara, destructible. And every creation it is there. In pralaya, it is what? Destroyed. But in pralaya, what is intact? Avyakrita is intact. So therefore, this avyakrita, maya, relatively indestructible, and therefore it is called as what? Akshara. Otherwise, the akshara word should do what? Brahma. This is what you can find in the Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter. Kshara Purusha, Akshara Purusha, Purushottam. I told you, when I was reading Bhagavad Gita with little knowledge, This much I knew. What is that? Akshara means what? Brahma. No, Akshara Purusha, uska upar wala bhi. Above him, who is that? Purushottama. How can something be superior to Brahma? After that, Kshara Purusha, Karya Jagat, frequently what? It gets destroyed. Akshara Purusha, Avyakrita, unmanifest, Prakriti or Maya, which is relatively less destroyed. Purushottama is what? Actually, the Akshara of Jayatad Aksharam Adhigamati of Mundaka is Purushottama. That Purushottama, that you have to see. That's why Vedanta means, do you know what is necessary? Mimamsa. Pujita Vicharaha. Sacred inquiry is necessary. Otherwise, you will get totally confused. That's why I say, Shastrajnyopi Swatantrena Brahmanveshanam na kurya. Highly great scholar. Sanskrit thorough. Because nowadays you have to first say Sanskrit. Because people don't know Sanskrit. Then Nyaya, Tarka, all his past master. Even then, my dear sir, don't enter into Brahma Vichara on your own. Don't enter that. Because there are many such statements which are quite contradictory. They have to be resolved. That is what is done where? In the Brahma Sutra. All cannot study Brahma Sutras, but those who know it, they can resolve, and then you will know that. So that here, Aksharat Paratapa. Which is Akshara here? Akshara here is, that is what? Avyakritam. Avyakrita, unmanifest condition. So that is, Para is said. Superior to what? Karya. Karya Rupa Jagat. See, you know this much. Karana, any Karana, cause, is superior to effect Karya or not? Karya comes and goes, Karana remains. Which is more related to existing Karana. So that is what is said here. See, Akshara, Avyakta, Avyakrita. It is superior to the Karya Rupa Jagat. Superior to that Akshara is what? Purushottama Brahma. Purushottama Brahma. Purushottama Brahma. Tasmat Pacha. That Paramatma, Brahma, Paramatma is there. So that is how, say, Aksharat Parataha Paraha. Means Brahma, Paramatma is more durable or everlasting compared to Avyakrita, which is relatively indestructible, not totally so. This is Mundaka. Next is Mundaka 2, 1, 2. Again same mantra. Sab.
Sabharyabhyantaraha hi ajaha.
The one who is Sa means Saha, along with Bahya and Abhyantara and Aja. Bahya and Abhyantara, Aja. Sabharyabhyantaraha hi ajaha. See, Sabharyabhyantaraha. So that is what here. Bahyam Karya. Abhyantaram Karana. Along with them. How along with them? As the basis of Karana and Karya. The basis of Avyakrita is what? Brahma. Basis of Karya Rupa Jagat is what? Brahma. So that is Sabharyabhyantara. And it is Ajaha. Unborn. Chit Dhatu. Chit Chaitanya only. Come on. When Chaitanya is born, can you prove? You have to prove now. Chaitanya is birthless. you will miss one birthday to celebrate. Chaitanya. You have to prove. How can you prove? You know, in high school, geometry, when a theorem cannot be proved directly, a method is used called reductio ad absurdum method. You know that? I hope you remember. For Vedanta, all these are necessary. Reductio ad means you make an assumption contrary to the theorem and then prove that your assumption is absurd. Yes or no? Just scratch your head. Oh, Swamiji, mathematics I was weak. Okay. So at least this much you will understand. Make an assumption and prove that an assumption is not contrary to what you have to prove. And prove that assumption is wrong is what? What is to be proved is ascertained, is it not? Now we have to find out when did this Chaitanya start? What Vedanta says? Aja, unborn. So what is the contrary statement now? Let us say Chaitanya was born on 1st January 2018. 1st January 2018. Assumption, okay. And the moment the sun rose on 1st January 2018, Chaitanya, what, like Hanuman was born when the sunrise was. So that is it. Next question is, who did note that Chaitanya was born on 1st January 2018? Who can? No, don't say straight away Chaitanya. Some XYZ entity. Some XYZ entity. That XYZ entity is sentient or inert. If inert, it can't. It's sentient. That means Chaitanya was there before what Chaitanya was born. So our assumption is what? Absurd. Pakka? Thoda geometry. Nobody said no. Nowadays, this Vedanta is taught with PowerPoint projection. I asked to some person, hey, do they point out this is Atma? See, no, this is Atma. That person started laughing. Now see, PowerPoint projection. See, look, this classification, codification, chart, all ये वेदांत पे चलने वाला नहीं है. You have to go with the contradictory etc. Anyway, if they do something, it's okay. Worth finding out how they do it, and really it means or something gadbad, we have to see. Okay. Ajaha. So that's what for Chaitanya Tattva. Next one.
Yato vacho nivartante.
Next statement is Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasa anandam brahmano vidvan na bibeti kadachaniti yataha yasmat paramatmanaha brahmanaha, from which Brahma, vachaha, word, vachaha, all word, manasasaha, along with the mind, without being able to objectify it. Only quotation is given, yato vacha nivartante only. We have to take the entire quotation. With the mind, without being able to describe it, without being able to objectify it, they return back. Like your email sent wrong, wrong ID, it bounces back. It bounces back. So that is there. Or many things there. Or check, bouncing back. like a check bag or something like that. So that it means where words and mind have no access. Words cannot describe Atma. Mind cannot point out this is that Atma. So that is the Yato Aprapya Manasa. And what is it? Anandam Brahmano Vidwan. And this Brahma Ananda one who knows, na bibheti kadachana. At no time he gets subjected to fear, means sorrow. Janma Varna Rupa Samsara. He cannot do it. Is it covetable? Desirable? Why? No trace of sorrow. No birth and death. See, it appears as though some utopian dream. How is it ever possible? That's why we have to see or consider Vidvad Anubhava. Shastra may say so, but Jnani Jivanuktas confirm it, this is so. Is it not? Suppose somebody, you got some, nowadays it is not everything on the internet you can get. Olden days, suppose, somebody described Kailas Manas Sarovar is like this, etc. Described. But if a person who has visited is telling, is more authentic and more reliable or not, other we accept other one because it is based on the Shastra. But say, I have seen it. Like that. Nowadays, because you can see everything where? On TV. Then different thing. So, not that, like that. Shastra says, first I should have Shraddha, then I have to do Mimamsa, ascertain, yes. But here is a person, he said, I am what? That is sure, telling that I have discovered this is a more what? Reliable. So like that here, you say, Anandam Brahmano Vidwan. Vidwan means one who knows Brahmananda. No bibheti kadachana. He has no fear at all. He has no sorrow. In Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, Dukkha Sanyoga Viyogam Yoga Uchyate, sir. At one place, Na Vichalyate idhar Mahatapi Dukkhena. Bhashyakar says, even great sorrow. Why? Shastra Ghata. Striking by the weapon or Vyagradi. A tiger pounced is what? Unconcerned. Why unconcerned? Not some mental power, not aware of the body. You know that? Many times we have seen this. Sadashiva Brahmendra, so that is that. So he was of that type. He was Avadhuta. Avadhuta means that he was not body conscious, etc., etc. And once he was going somewhere, walking, etc., etc. On the way, one Nawab or someone had pitched the tent, and there was a harem. He is unaware of that. He is not walking, and he went through the harem. Now this person got offended. No clothes, etc. And he got so annoyed, he took his sword, chopped the arm. It didn't fall, it was hanging. Unmindful, he was going. Then this Nawab got surprised and he was a little frightened also. He is not aware of it. And so he went, because he is not an ordinary person, he must be the same great Mahatma. I have done an offense. He wanted to apologize. 2-3 days he was behind him. But he could not draw his attention. Afterwards, you see, Well, what is the matter? He said, this is what is. Please pardon me. Ah, your yogic powers also. He went. Think of it. Many times it has happened. That Kaveri bank used to sit for dhyana. Kaveri used to get the flood, and with the flood used to go what? That means carried away. Carried away, and once he got buried in the mud and the sand in a field. So that was the custom there. The king used to see that after the flood, everything is clear. So the laborers were clearing, etc. When they hit the spade, suddenly what came? Blood came. So they called the supervisor. Slowly they removed. You know who is that? So that's your Brahmendra. And then what? Got up and he walked away. That is what it is. Is it possible for a person who has got body consciousness? People think that Atma-jnana means what? Parroting some statements from Upanishads and what? Atma-jnana ho gaya. ठीक है. So that is what he says. Anandam brahmano vidvan na viveti kadachana. He has no fear because everything is Brahma Swarupa. It is not some imaginary thing. It's the direct discovery in terms of aparoksha anubhava. That is what is called as sakshatkara. Sakshatkara means nothing but Chaitanya. Chaitanya alone is there. That is what is sakshatkara. And that Chaitanya is what? Swaprakasha. It is anubhava Swarupa, jnana Swarupa. No other means are required to know it. Swayam Jyoti, self-evident. Continue.
Neti neti ityadina bijatvapanayamena.
We make a correct it there. Bijavatva, va you add. Bija, that is better reading. Bijavatvapanayamena.
Bijatvapanayamena vyapadeshaha.
Again, Brihadaranyaka 4:422. Neti neti na iti. Repetition is there. Na iti means all that is what? Superimposed is not Brahma. Come on, do the exercise. All that is superimposed on what? Chaitanya Rupa Atma cannot be Brahma. From where will you begin? Body. Body is Adhyaropita or not? Superimposed. Yes? Come on, prove. How will you prove something is superimposed? How do you prove that the snake is superimposed on rope? Simple, apavada. At least you know Adhyaropa apavada. Apavada. See the rope without the snake. No, I saw the rope, but there was no snake as this word. Snake except the hood. Have you seen? But except the tail, there was no snake. It is not, you have not seen the rope. So that like that, see, if body is adhyastha, it is liable to be dismissed. If snake is adhyastha, superimposed, it is liable to be ended. Yes or no? If actually there were a snake, can you end it? When a rope is mistaken for a snake, bring light and then what? See, it is what? Rope and not a snake. So here, bring Atma-jnana, see, Deha is not there, Atma there. But that is not our point. Our point is, the snake can be ended. It comes and goes, but rope is always there. Likewise, our body comes and goes, Chaitanya is always there. How? Presently, you are in the waking state. Body is there or not? Yes, physical body. You dream. Right? You slept and you dream. This body you are not aware. You have got a dream body. Afterwards you slept. Neither gross body is there nor dream body is there. Body comes and goes. One who was aware of gross body in the waking, one who was aware of dream body in the waking, dream, one who is aware of absence of both in the day. Is it not one and the same entity? Is it not there all the time? So therefore these come and go. Adhyasta or not? Simple. Adhyasta. Otherwise what should happen? Physical body should be available to us both in the dream and in the lucid state. It comes and goes. Otherwise, we can use the method I am not taking now. Refer to Panchadasi first chapter, Anvaya Vyatireka method. So that we can use it. So that being the case, say naiti. Whatever that gets subjected to negation or ending is not Brahma. Start with the body, entire upadhi, jagat, ignorance. What is the always remaining? Chaitanya. The entity because of which you are aware is always there. So that is the case. Ityadina. Adi for, again Mundaka, Asthulam, Ananu, etc. That which is not gross, that is not subtle, etc. So Ityadina. Bijavatva apanayanena, by removal of, discarding, bijavatva, being endowed with bija, because in this statement bija is not there. Vyapadesha. So that is it. So this being the case, there. So such prana, etc. when used, bija, avyakrita, ignorance is taken for granted. Where it is not, there are certain statements as we already seen. Now a doubt has come. That is true, sir, but it is not expressly told. Or Gaudapadacharya has not told it, or Upanishad has not told it. Not told. What is that? Chaitanya without bija also is there. Actually, all these statements were from where? Wait. Have a little patience. How long? Not much. Till the next mantra comes. Which mantra we have completed? 6. Next mantra is 7. But in between, what has come here? Karikas have come. In between, karikas have come. Says, in the mantra 7, the Upanishad itself points out Chaitanya Rupa Atma without the what? Bija. Where is it? Let us see.
ताम अबीजावस्थाम तस्य एव प्राज्ञशब्दवाच्यस्य तुरीयत्वेन देहादिसम्बन्धरहितां पारमार्थिकीं पृथक् वक्ष्यति.
In a big sentence, better you take Anvaya. Tasya eva pradnya shabda vachyasya add jivasya dehadi sambandha rahitam tam first word of the sentence, then at the end paramarthikim, second word of sentence abijavastham, see that a is there, abijavastham turiyatvena pruthak vakshati, pruthak distinctly, vakshati, Upanishad is going to tell future, where? In mantra 7, the next mantra. What the Upanishad is going to tell? It says, Tasya eva, of that entity only. Who is that entity? Vishwa. That waker consciousness who became Taijasa in the dream, who becomes Prajna in the sleep, of that Vishwa only, because one and the same entity donning three different roles and one without role. Prajna, Taijasa, Vishwa, Taijasa, Prajna, these with the role. Without a role, entity is Turiya. Now, that Turiya is in Vishwa or not? Yes. In Taisa or not? Prajna or not? Just actor A is playing B, C, D roles. But actor A is in the role B, is in the role C, is in the role D, and independent of that. All Mandukya wants you to do is what? Give up Vishwa, give up Taijasa, give up Prajna, be Taituriya. Simply be Turiya. Simple, no? What is obstructing them? Interest. Not capital interest. Not bank interest. Our interest in things. So that is that. So that says, that is what says, wait. Upanishad itself is going to point out Turiya Avastha, which is free from even Avyakruta. Avyakruta is what? Bija Avastha. Prajna, Vishwa, Taijasa, Karya Avastha. Prajna Avastha is Karya Avastha. Whereas Turiya is what? Bija Avastha. That is Abhija Avastha. That's it. Tasyaiva. Tasyaiva means who? Of that Vishwa only, who becomes Taijasa and Prajna. Now, Prajna Shabda Vachyasya, because Avyakruta was under discussion. So, Prajna Shabda Vachyasya, add there Jivasya. Of that Vishwa, who is now called Prajna, of that Jiva, says, Dehadi Sambandha Rahitam, that avastha, state, which is Dehadi Sambandha Rahita. Totally free from connection with the body, etc. Free from identification with the body, etc. So that is Dehadi Sambandha Rahitam. Tam, such a state. Tam, such a state. Paramarthikim. What state it is? Paramarthiki. What is that? Real nature. These are what nature? Assumed with adhyasa. That is the real one. And therefore it is what? Abijavastha. There is no bija of avyakrita, ignorance, maya is not there. No adhyasa, including that of ignorance. Abijavastha. And that is, no, what is it? Turiyatvena. By this description as what? Turiya. Turiya means, what is it? Simple. Fourth one. Turiya means Chaturiya. Chatur means what? Four. Fourth one. Why it is called four? There are assumed three. Truly not there, but there. So that otherwise it is neither fourth also. In Vyavahara, 1, 2, 3, 4. When you say 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 is different from 1, 2, 3. This is not that way. It is 4, but in and through 1, 2, 3, at the same time free from 1, 2, 3. With the basis of 1, 2, 3. What are 1, 2, 3? Vishwa, Taijasa, Prajna. So that is what Turiyatvena, as the fourth entity, Pruthak, distinctly, separately from Vishwa, Taijasa, Prajna, Vakshati. Upanishad is going to tell. Where? In the mantra 7. In mantra 7. We will continue next time.
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महीषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं शोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
अहं ब्रह्मास्मि 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 अहं ब्रह्मास्मि